Hello, good morning students. How are you all of you? I hope all of you fine. Okay, what we discussed in our last offline class, that we discussed our revisions of English related to our second unit, and in that we will discuss fill in the blanks, then reasons, then long question answers, okay, related to SS. Now today in this session, we will discuss the further divisions of related to SS, which is related to unit test 2. So let me very first question is that select the most appropriate options as the answer. Select the most appropriate option as the answer. So very first is that who was the first torch bearer of socio-religious reforms in the 19th century? What is our first question? Who was the first torch bearer of socio-religious reforms in the 19th century? So what is the answers of that? Who came with here Renaissance reawakening? Okay, the person name is Rajaram Mohan Roy. Rajaram Mohan Roy. Okay. Second option, who established Brahmo Samaj? The same dancing personality. If we know who established Brahmo Samaj, the same personality, Rajaram Mohan Roy. Rajaram Mohan Roy. Then next, number 3 is that which vehicle fuel is pollution free? Which vehicle fuel is pollution free? So what is the answer? We all know that SEMT is the pollution free fuel. Okay. Then next 4. When was the law to abolish the SEMT system is passed? Okay. When was the law to abolish the SEMT system is passed? In which year it is passed? It is passed in 1829 CE. It is passed in 1829 CE. Very next, who established Arya Samaj? Next, number 5, who established Arya Samaj? Then, what is the answer? Dayanand Saraswati is established Arya Samaj. Don't confuse in between then Brahmo Samaj and Arya Samaj. Brahmo Samaj is established by Raja Ram Mohan Roy and Arya Samaj is established by Dayanand Saraswati. Okay. Then next, let's see further in MCQs number 6. Which of the following disease spread due to water pollution? Okay. Which of the following disease spread due to water pollution? Then the right answer is cholera. Okay. The right answer is cholera. Then next, number 7. What plays an important role in polluting agricultural land and environment? What is the question? What plays an important role in polluting agricultural land and environment? What is the answer? Chemical fertilizers. Chemical fertilizers that we use in farm. Okay. Then next, where did the concept of modern nationalism originate from? So we all know that from where it is originated? From Europe. From Europe. Okay. Then next, let's see further. Number 9. started home rule movement in India with the help of Bal Gangadhar Tilak. With the help of Bal Gangadhar Tilak. And then, okay, another thing that at the time of home rule movement, there is already, see, INC, Indian National Congress, is already in his initial stage also. Okay, in his initial stage also, it is now become a plant, and they also started some working regarding of this. And INC means Indian National Congress participants and representatives are also involved in this home rule movement. Okay. Then next, number 10, which factor pollutes land on a large scale? That we all know, industries. Okay. Today, if we notice that how this industries are not only land but water also is polluted due to the such kinds of big industries nowadays. Then next, who established the Muslim college in Aligarh? That we all know that Sir Syed Ahmad Khan is established Muslim college in education, and the purpose of giving English education, for the purpose of giving English education to the Muslim community, because at that time peoples are not ready. At that time peoples are not ready to take English education. They are just want to learn their own education like Quran, then to speak means the Urdu language and all the things. Means this community is not vastly take educations in another language. They only just limited sources are there that they learn in Urdu language. They learn about Quran and about their religions. Okay, so that's why Sir Syed Ahmad Khan is established Aligarh Muslim College. Then next, when did the Lord Curzon partition Bengal? That we all know, Lord Curzon is partition Bengal in 1906 CE. 1906 CE. Then, where was Subhash Chandra Bose born? We all know Subhash Chandra Bose was born in Cuttack. Okay, Subhash Chandra Bose was born in Cuttack. Then, okay, next, let me see. Number 14. Which gas has increased in the atmosphere due to cutting of trees? Okay, which gas has increased in the atmosphere due to cutting of trees? Okay, then carbon dioxide. Okay, carbon dioxide. The next, number 15. Who was the president of the first meeting of the INC, Indian National Congress? Then all we know there are Vyomesh Chandra Banerjee. We know so many things related to INC. Okay, then INC is established in 1885 on the December of 28, and Vyomesh Chandra has become the first president of this meeting. And at the time there are 72 representatives are there, and this meeting is held on Pune. But in Pune there were plague is spread, and due to this, the meetings of INC is cancelled in Pune, and it is really organized at Gokuldas Tejpal Sanskrit College at Mumbai, Maharashtra, and the first president is become Vyomesh Chandra Banerjee, and the second next very year in 1886 Dadabhai Naoroji is become the president, and thereafter in 1887 in the very next year Badruddin Tayyabji become the third president of INC, okay, Indian National Congress. Then let's see, very next question is there, question number 2. Match the pair correctly. Match the pair correctly. What I want to share with you in the examination, don't do the thing to cross the lines like this. Don't do this in the exam. It's I strictly want to all. Don't do this in your exam. What should you have to do at the time of exam? How all of you write? See, If I am asking that Lala Lajpat Rai, you have to mention only number 1 and write the right number of that from here. That which is the right number of very first Lala Lajpat Rai, there is number 1. Then in exam, how all of you write that number 1 and the right answers of number 1, find out from that, find out from this file and pick that number and write here. Then say Lala Lajpat Rai. Okay, Lala Lajpat Rai. Then which is the right answer? Sher-e-Punjab. Okay, Sher-e-Punjab. So number 5. So in exam we have to write just number 5. Okay, this is the method of writing of match the pair correctly. If you write lines or draw lines or cross the lines, I really say that I am not giving one single marks to any students. Okay, not giving any single marks to any student. If you do this in examination, write this way. Okay, write like this way only you have to. Then let me see the right answers of all. Then Lala Lajpat Rai, the right answer is number 5. Okay, number 5. Then Lala Lajpat Rai is called as a Sher-e-Punjab. Then in 1928, which incidents is happened in 1928 in India? See, all of we know that Simon Commission came to India. Simon Commission came to India. Then number 3 is the right answer of number 2. Okay. Then next, water from drains. Okay, which are the water that we drain from to factories, industries, from to house, from to gutters. All are responsible for what? Means all the water drains are responsible for which kinds of pollutions that we all know? Water pollutions. Okay, water pollution. The number 3, the right answer is number 4. Then retired British officer who initially in the stage of INC worked so many things in INC. In the behinds of INC, the role of that person is also that we study in our unit. Okay, who is that person? British retired officer Sir Alan Octavian Hume. In book we call him as A.O. Hume. In book we call him A.O. Hume. What is the name of him? Alan Octavian Hume. What is the right answers of number 4 is 2. Okay, number 2. Now only one is remaining that you can give answers very easily. Western archaeologist. Whenever in India started excavations of land, then very first Western archaeologist who done in India excavation is what is Alexander Cunningham. So number 5, there is number 1 answer. Okay, number 1 answer. And which trick I am giving to you to write perfectly, match the pairs. Okay, match the pair. You have to do like this way. Okay, don't do mistakes in exam. The same way, not all the match the pairs I am writing on the board. I have so many match the pairs. At least 15 are there. So we discussed. Okay, so we discussed it that. Let me see one by one. There is a Ramakrishna mission. Okay, Ramakrishna mission. That all we know that Ramakrishna mission is started by Swami Vivekananda after the death of Swami. Okay, after the death of Ramakrishna Paramahansa, his disciple of Swami Vivekananda started this Ramakrishna mission. Then Arya Samaj, that we all know. Arya Samaj is established by Dayananda Saraswati. Then Behramji Malbari, who is helped in framing the law against of child marriage. Okay, Behramji Malbari. Then next, asthma. What is the cause of asthma? Which pollution is caused asthma? That we all know that due to air pollution we faces disease like asthma, breathing problem, lungs problem. orange alert. Delhi is on the orange alert in the index of air pollution. Then next, sounds of 80 decibel. Okay, sounds of 80 decibel is because of what is the cause of this? There are noise pollution. Okay, more than 80 decibel is not referable for the human ears. Okay, not referable for the human ears. It is harmful for our ear. Then next, chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Okay, because of these, which pollution is spread? Then the land pollution. Answer is what? Land pollution. Then next, Rabindranath Tagore. Then what he done? What he do? Then he established Shanti Niketan. Okay, Rabindranath is established Shanti Niketan. Then person who partitions Bengal. We all know the name of that guy. That is a Lord Curzon. Then next, composers of the Vande Mataram. Okay, composer of the Vande Mataram is who? There are Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay ji. Okay, there are Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay ji. Okay, see, let me go next. Okay, let me see further. Okay, let me see further. In question number 3, see that we discuss write short notes on the following. Write short notes on the following. Okay, then very first short note is there about Raja Ram Mohan Roy. If you don't, okay, here in short note we can't discuss each and everything related to Raja Ram Mohan Roy. See the previous video. Okay, see the previous video. In that we will detailed discussed about Raja Ram Mohan Roy. So see, then also we will discuss here, but not that much. That we teach you that how Britishers came to India and how they started trade in India. What is the purpose of coming of Britishers in India, and how they slowly started to govern the Indian people. So that much things we discussed, and after how such kinds of reformers like Swami Vivekananda, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, then Saraswati, Jyotiba Phule, and so many scholars, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, then Badruddin Tayyabji, how this all personality is arise and how they came to reform. So that we already studied in in the previous video of online class or offline class. So must be watching that. Then let me see Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Let I give some brief introductions related to them. That he was born in 1772 CE in Bengal, okay, in the district of Hooghly, and the village name is Radhanagar. Okay, the village name is Radhanagar. And we will also discuss that where is the Bengal is situated in our India and how it is famous at the times of British rule in India. Okay, so then we study on and okay related to Raja Ram Mohan Roy, that from childhood he was too much enthusiastic in studying. At the very early age he gained so many knowledge related to our philosophy, our Vedas, and related to education. Means too much scholarly persons he was. And another thing is about him that he knows so many languages also. Persian, France, then French language also is spoken, Sanskrit, Hindi, English. Okay, so many languages he know. Means he can write also, then speak also, and able to understand also. So many languages he can able to speak, write, and listen and understands also. Then the another thing is about him that in 1821, Raja Ram Mohan Roy he started one newspaper. Okay, why he started this newspaper? Okay, whenever he is not present in India, he was in Europe, because at the time in the year, I think in the year of 1820 or something, he is visited the Europe Parliament, and we all know that the king is just a puppet in the hands of Britishers, and they just provide money to them for to govern the states, and not another administration rights they give it to the any king, and they give that king particular pension. Some pensioner kings are there, okay? Some pensions is given to the king, and somehow the Britishers stop the pensions of Akbar. So for that also, and for this reason, Akbar is called to the Raja Ram Mohan Roy that come in our court, we have some work to do, and Akbar is talked to the Raja Ram Mohan Roy and sent him to the British Parliament for which purpose? To agreement for their pensions. So because of that, Raja Ram Mohan Roy is visit Europe Parliament, and he noticed so many things in Parliament. So he noticed that how the Britishers govern our India such a kind of way that the not the things is happening in British, okay, in European countries. So just Britishers is doing here exploitations of Indian people by the way of socio-religious, then by the way of economically, by the way of education, in industries, in agriculture, okay, all the way Britishers is just exploit the Indian people, okay, and everything is noticed by the Raja Ram Mohan Roy, and after when he came to the India, and he said that the widow wife of her brother, okay, his brother, then what actually happened there, then he was seeing that the wife of his brother is sati here when he was not present, and it is too much bad feeling is come in the minds of Raja Ram Mohan Roy that what should be done by the our society, how much illiterate people in India, so they wants to reforms in India, and by this way he started to protest against of these kinds of Arabic customs, then orthodox rituals, and all the worships of God and everything, okay, he just wants to protest against of all these things and started reformations in India, okay. This is the backgrounds of Raja Ram Mohan Roy that we already studied, but here I am giving you just a brief introductions about it. Then the another thing, for to aware the people, what should they do? Then he wants to make one law on sati system, but on sati system he wants to make one law, and at the time of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, there is a Lord William Bentinck is the viceroy of the our India, okay. So he wants to pass a law on sati system to abolish the sati system. So he is requested to Viceroy Bentinck, and with the help of Bentinck, the law of abolish of is started by the okay. Then he started one newspaper named Samvad Kaumudi in the year of 1821, and it is in Bengali language, and another one in 1822 he published another newspaper named Mirat ul Akbar, okay, Mirat ul Akbar, and in 1822 CE Raja Ram Mohan Roy is just established the Brahmo Samaj, okay, for the sake of society, for the reformation in society, he wants some changes in society, so he established the Brahmo Samaj, and such kinds of activities it's done here in Brahmo Samaj to aware the people, to give education to the people, then whatever the wrong orthodox rituals they done, they stop to them by this way. So that much thing is okay related to, okay. Then the another thing is him that 1833 he was died, and after disciples of is to carry forward this Brahmo Samaj and that activity related to the Brahmo Samaj. Okay. Then next there are the Swami Vivekananda. Okay. Swami Vivekananda is also the same scholarly personality like of Raja Ram Rai, and he was from Bengal also, and he become graduate from the Bengal language, and at the very early age he lots of gained knowledge related to Indian philosophy, related to Indian Vedas, Upanishads and all the languages, and also he also able to speak many languages, Hindi, Sanskrit, English, Persian, okay, many of the languages, and he born in 1863. Okay, he born in 1863, and he was the disciple of Ramakrishna Paramahansa, and he followed his guru too much, and after he established one institution named Ramakrishna Paramahansa also. Ramakrishna Paramahansa, on the name of his guru, he started Ramakrishna Mission. Okay, and in that such kinds of activities he done for the sake of society also. And another thing is that Swami Vivekananda very famous slogans to give to the Indians, that awake, okay, arise, awake, and not stop. Still, the goal is achieved. Okay, arise, awake, and not stop. Still, the goal is achieved. Okay, this is a very famous slogans is given by Swami Vivekananda to us. And another thing is Swami Vivekananda is that he is believed that serve poor people means who are the poor, to serve them whatever the requirement, education, clothes, then food, whatever the requirements of the poor, to serve them. In that person, in the poor people, there are the God is there. Okay, that kinds of philosophy of Swami Vivekananda. Then very next is the Jyotiba Phule. Very next is Jyotiba Phule. Then he was well known as the social reformer of the Maharashtra. He was well known as the reformer of Maharashtra, and he started a school for girls. Okay, in Pune. Jyotiba Phule started schools in Pune for special for the girl child. Because at the time, if you think about that, right now also some family or some castes are not giving permission us to give education to the girl child. So think about at the times of 18th or 19th century, the girl child is not allowed from the family to take education. Okay, so at that time he started such a kinds of schools as special schools for girl child. Then another thing is he also helped to widow remarriage. Means in this all the scholars are doing so many things for especially women, because all our persons are seeing that which kinds of situations of women's right now in India, okay, and how much problems they faces in his life. So after seeing all these things, in 1857 he started to against of widow remarriage. Means he wants that widow remarriage is a one kind of society is not allowing a widow that she can get married, remarried to the another person. The society is not allowing a woman to get marriage with a person, but he wants to pass one law on that a woman have a rights to remarriage after the death of his husband. So then another thing is that he started one institution named Satya Sodak Samaj. He started one named Satya Sodak Samaj, and in this institution such kinds of activities related to society he done for the upliftment of the society, for the sake of society, for the benefit of society. He done so many activities in his whole life. Then he was very much enthusiasm related to do such kinds of activity for the society. So this is about the Jyotiba Phule. Then what steps should be taken to prevent the water pollution? There are lots of steps that should be taken, especially at the time of rain, that we have to drain the waters which are as our terrace to directly connect with our groundwater. So it is too much beneficial. Then the another thing is that how many waters that we use in farm, that we use against of these kinds of big industries, that whatever the water they use, they don't drain into the river, into the ocean or any water bodies. Okay, that kinds of strictly law which is made by the government, then it is happened that water pollution is decreased. Okay, then the another way to aware the people about all these things, that water is without water, to aware them without water our life is not possible. So to aware the people that how much water is important for our life. So by this way to make a slogan, to make one NGOs, okay, establishment of NGOs, then to hold banners on the roads and parkings and on the public place like railway station, then on bus station, okay, on airport, you have to make banner on particular things that show you have to, the people that show and just aware about the that kinds of water pollution. By this way also, if the people are aware about that, then they can also reduce the use of water and they can't pollute the water. So by many ways we have to reduce the prevent the water pollution. Then next, effect of air pollution. Okay, there are so many effects of air pollution. Because of air pollution that we face so many problems right now also. How many problems that, how types of problems that we face, like breathing problem, like lung problems, then we face asthma, okay, breathing problem, that much kinds of breathing related to breath that we faces today also. Why? Because our air is too much today polluted by us. Who is the responsible for that? We all are. Okay, we all are human beings are more responsible than the other creature like animals and trees and plantation and vegetation. Rather than all these things, human beings are too much responsible for the air pollution, and the gases and the which kinds of smokes is come from the industries. Okay, it is released in the air and air is polluted. So by this way also we faces so many, okay, skin diseases also we faces with the air pollution, and another thing is lungs cancers we faces. Okay, then some eye problem is also we faces because of air pollution. Then ultimately we take oxygen in our breathing and we reduce the carbon dioxide in our breathing. So the human being is the majorly works behind of this air pollution, because we reduce the carbon dioxide in our breathing systems. Okay, then we cut the trees. It is the main responsible for effects of in air pollution, because if we cut the trees, then the trees have only capacity to take the carbon dioxide and it released oxygen, pure oxygen from that trees. So if we cut the trees in means many trees we cut in a day. So it is the too much bad. Our, if you notice that there are global warming is also in faces because of these kinds of air pollution. Then today, because of air pollution, many states like Delhi, landlocked states, which are very populated, they are facing so many problems in breathing also. We can't take a pure breath in our daily living. Okay, that much kinds of pollution means the effect of air pollution in our daily life. Then how is your life is connected with the following? Means school is there, then how we connected with this? Then farm is there, then how we connected with them? Then okay, so family. So we are connected with all these institutions. Without means these all are the functions of our society. Without of all these things, we can't survive our life, because if we are a human being, we live, means we born in a society and we die in a society. The whole life we spend in a society. If there is no availability of society, there is a culture, there is a custom, there is a festival. So nothing is meaning is there. Okay, we are same as like animals. So we need society, and without the society, the schools, colleges, institutions, hospitals, marriages, functions, family, all are the parts of our society. Okay, without this we can't live. The next thing, Indian National Congress. Okay, we will discuss past regarding all this if you see the previous class. is established in 1885. It is 28 December. Then there are 72 participants in there at the very first meeting, and the first meeting is held in Pune, and because of plague, the plague is spread in all over the Pune, so the meetings is cancelled at there, and it is shifted to the Maharashtra, Bombay. Gopaldas Sanskrit College is there. So the first meeting of INC is there, and who is the leader of the Indian National Congress? Then Yogesh Chandra Banerjee is become the first president or first leader of the Indian National Congress. And what is the which kinds of works they do in his initial stages of INC? So Indian National Congress is done the works like we want our constitutional rights like freedom of speech, then we want freedom of expression, then we want parliament is become transparency, okay, and answerable parliament we want, and which kinds of transferable parliament we want, and at least 50% of the members in the parliament is participants of proper from Indian people. So that kinds of we want from the Britishers at the initial stages. That kinds of works is done by the Indian National Congress in his initial stage, and we want at the right all the rights, okay, socio-economically, educationally, to give us a freedom of all these things that we want from the Britishers, okay. So this is the INC. Then the second meetings of INC is held in 1886, 1885, and Dada Bhai is the leader of that, and maybe there are 402 participants are there. Then it is maybe held in Kolkata, okay. Next, second 1885, the second meeting is held in Kolkata, and the third one meeting is the leader of that 1886 is held in 1886 in the every year in the December month it is decided, okay. Then the next thing is Behramji is become the third one, okay, third one means third leader of the Indian National Congress, and in his initial stage that we discussed that in the initial stage INC is like a plant, okay, okay, INC is like a one little plant, and after at the time of 1906, when the partitions of Bengal, this little plant is become a tree. This little plant is become tree. Means there are so many participants are added in this, okay, in Indian National Congresses. Then another thing is Azad Hind Fauj. Then Azad Hind Fauj is established by Mohan Singh, and Mohan Singh is who? Then Mohan Singh is the leader of in the soldiers of British army. In the Britishers army is there in our India. So in that Mohan Singh is the leader of our Indian soldier, and he established Azad Hind Fauj. Azad Hind Fauj. And another thing is what happened after passing of some time. Subhash Chandra Bose is become the leader of this Azad Hind Fauj. And what is the actually purpose of this Azad Hind Fauj? Then they want freedom. They want freedom from the British rule, and they done so many conspiracy against of Britishers, and they are not ready after the Second World War. They are not ready. Okay, after the Second World War, they are not ready to fight for British army, and they want to make their own means own party they must make, and they make their own soldier team for to fight against of Britishers. They are Azad Hind Fauj is protest against of British army, and they want to establish their own army. They want to establish their own soldiers team. This is the goal of Azad Hind Fauj. And after they become leader of Subhash Chandra Bose, okay, this is the name of Azad Hind Fauj is changed, and it is called Indian National Army, and it is called Indian National Army. And another thing is that Subhash Chandra Bose is become leader, and after it is become vast. Whenever it's established, then it is very small. So means very less soldiers are involved in that. But when Subhash Chandra Bose is become the leader, then it is become vast. Then Subhash Chandra Bose, that we discuss so many things of them. That Subhash Chandra Bose, we discuss so many things of him. Then it is what? Then Subhash Chandra Bose is born in 23rd of January and everything. You must watch the last video. In that we will discuss detail about the Subhash Chandra Bose. So here today we will finish our revision video, and let me meet on the next class. Subhash Chandra Bose, I detailed make one video. Okay, detailed make one video. All of you see that from to born to that, how he go to Japan and how he visit many countries. Okay, then how he make conspiracy against the British rule. All the make